All right, so I would be taking the questions quickly so that we would be out of here quickly. Somebody reading the questions from there? Okay. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How was your week? Or will I say your 2 weeks? How was it? Has it been fine? Have you been winning? Or has Sakba found you? All right. So, a couple of people sent in questions. And for some reason, the breast mic is out of commission. So I'm going to be attending to the questions briefly. Is someone going to read the questions, or I should start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the first question again?
Regarding passion and knowing the particular aspects to work on, how do I combine school, work, and extracurricular development without collapsing?
Don't combine it. You came to school to be a student. Focus on that. And when you are on breaks, do a lot of spiritual exercises. I think that is a very good way to survive, to thrive. Prayers. But you study. That's normal school life. That's all you need to do. Once there's a school break, then you can do 10 hours prayer. You can do all the stretch as God gives you grace. But you don't need to do so much. Keep everything in practical check. You are a student, pray in the morning, that is expected of you. Pray at night, that is expected of you. Study your books, get good grades. And that will be okay for you. So it is during your breaks you should give yourself to extreme measures of spiritual exercise according to your passion. You can take your breaks as retreats. You can take your breaks as prayer charges. Yes. So you can do that. Why I'm saying this way, even though it may sound odd, is because I don't expect you to do what I did. You are not me. You are not starting a church. You are not as hungry for God as I was. And I don't know your academic capacity. Some courses on campus are really serious. My course was very simple, computer science. So I didn't have problems with it. I was a scholar. So I could always juggle church and bookwork. So it's not a problem. Next question, please. I'm trying to get the questions here from here to here.
Okay, sir. Second question. How can I have fellowship with Jesus even when I don't feel like it or feel sleepy?
All right. Okay, better. Even what?
Even when I don't feel like it or feel sleepy.
Even when I don't feel like it or you feel sleepy.
Yes, sir.
All right. To have fellowship with Jesus is not based on feelings. You didn't go to school from your mother's womb. You were forced into it. So, the importance of things actually is what determines the energy we give to it. This is why I don't understand people that can take weeks to reply messages. All right, I've heard of cases like that. Even in the ministry, you send message to a leader, the leader takes weeks to reply. it doesn't make sense, because if your heart is there, you reply quickly. For this purpose you were called. Those in relationships, same thing. Days, weeks. It's a matter of the heart. If your heart is there, you will find a way. How do you go a whole day if you really love Jesus and not talk to him? How do you go a whole day? From the question alone, I know that there's a problem with the heart. A person asking that question needs a lot of help. All right? When you feel sleepy, you're in a relationship, especially in that talking stage, you will still tell the person you feel sleepy. Sometimes you will still chat with the person till you sleep off. Right? Right? Yes, I've caught those of you that have done it. I've caught you now. So that's what you do. All right? That's basically what you do. If you feel sleepy, I am not saying come down from your bed, enter into the bush, hug a tree and pray. You can whisper to the Lord while you're on your bed and sleep off. It's not a sin. It's not a crime. It's sleep off. Listen, I think, drop it here. I think we are missing a serious point. And the reason why we are missing the point is I don't want to go into curses, demonology, the way the world is. Let me explain something to you so that you have a preamble before we go deep into these questions. The difference between me and all of you is my heart. That's the difference. It's not any prophecy. It's not anything. The difference between my delivery of the power of God or the way things work for me is my mind. If you have the same heart and the same mind, some of you have even more energy, you will do better than me. God looks at the heart before he picks a person. God is interpreted to people from the mind of the person God talks to. Yes. If you get to understand how much battles are on your matter, I don't think you will feel sleepy often, because you will always be praying. And God doesn't want that. God wants you to choose to walk with him. It's like being in a relationship and the lady has to communicate with you. She's forced to do all those things because you pay her bills. That's not love. Right? That's not love. But when of her own choice she chooses to do it, even when you say it's enough, she still chooses to chase after you, like the Bible shows. That is love. So I am telling you to take it at your pace. You will get there one day, but take it at your pace. Some of us caught on early. We understood that this world is spiritual. We understood that our family was in -50. The way things were is not the way it's supposed to be. We understood that our time in school was to cover up for many things. We understood that there's a lot we don't know. I mean, from school we were going for programs with different men of God just to catch up, because we knew if our parents had that access, we would not be born in a backlog. And some of us that say backlog, our growing up was better than most of you. But is that by the word of God, we knew that this is not the way life should be. All right, so our energy for chasing was because we knew what was pursuing us. Our loving Jesus was because we heard some things that made us see Jesus in a different way from the way we saw him at home. Let me give you an example. At home, we see Jesus as my dad. When you do something wrong, my dad doesn't talk to you. The silent treatment begins. All right? Then maybe midnight, you hear a big cane on your back, on your body, and they beat you. Some of you know that feeling, right? All right, good. So after that, the next couple of days, the morning devotion is about your matter. It's about your matter. And so God was always seen as somebody that does not really forgive. When he forgives, You will suffer for long, and when everything is now over, he will just give you a pass mark. So it was a damaging form of Christianity. Now, coming out of that house and finding out from people like Pastor Chris and the rest that God is love, but the kind of love he is, we knew nothing about it in my family. It resets you. Coming out and discovering that if you did something wrong, you committed one grievous sin, slept with somebody, shot somebody's leg, stabbed somebody, you could actually ask him to forgive you, and he forgives you instantly. The rest feeling bad is your good conscience. Yes, the rest feeling bad is your good conscience and the physical environment you will have to walk through because you did it in a physical space. So that took me some time to swallow. That took me a long time to swallow because I couldn't relate with it. Thank God for being born in the kind of family I was born in. My father too was growing, so he too started discovering he was wrong. All right? So imagine that kind of thing. You will now sit down and say, okay, my dad at his old age is now learning he was wrong. I am young. I don't have to wait to that point. It's quite dumb because a lot of children has been raised already in the wrong system. Let me just catch the right one now so that I can do it right. And that is the hunger that made some of us chase after the Lord. So God is this good. So you mean after what I did wrong, I stole that, I did this, God still blessed me with miracle money. Damn. See? So we started finding out. And for a long time, people like Joseph Prince, it was difficult to accept his messages because it was all grace, 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 grace. As if God is a God that pampers. All right? So we had to balance that with the fact that, look, this is God, which is true. But we were born in Africa. There's household foundation. There's witchcraft in the family. There's all those things. You can't use grace to deal with that. You need to use faith and fire to deal with that. So we needed to go in that direction. The fastings, the prayings, the denying ourselves of a lot of things. All that was in a bid to find the balance you now call CAMI. Yes, which some of you take for granted. And we have to remind you that it's not totally so, because some of you like to tilt to the extreme. Yes, some of you love to tilt to the extreme, and that's the reason why in your spiritual walk you are not growing. Of course, there's nobody in the ministry that won't tell you. If you've been in ministry long enough, you've seen my growth. There was a time I was not as sharp in the prophetic as I am now. There was a time I cannot see as I see now. But I grew in these things because I didn't stay stagnant. We learn every day. Are you getting what I'm saying? So that's the way it is. That's the exact way it is. So if you are hungry for the Lord, you would pray. How do you get hungry? You need to know about him to the point that intrigues you, makes you curious. All right? So I leave that to your curiosity. How do I put my faith to work when nothing is working? And how can I build from there? This is a very simple question. Your simple answer is this: you don't know what is faith. Go back and learn what is faith. Where do you start from? The book called not Final Quest, Fourth Dimension. Yes, that's where you start from. Volume 1, Volume 2 on faith. Fourth Dimension by David Paul Yongicho. You would get it there. Start from there. Before you even listen to my tapes, just start from there. Fourth Dimension. Yes, it would teach you how to dream, how to see things before it happens. The book, I think Volume 1 will teach you that. Okay, today I'm not here to give answers to everything. I'm here to give direction, not just answers. So it's quite practical for everybody. Number 3, please. Number 3 question. Okay, the mic is not working. I'm seeing it here that the person is asking, patterns can fuel. I said patterns can fuel prophecy or curses. And the pastor gave a prophecy and he's trying to follow it, but then he needs to attain a level of income. I understand this struggle. I understand it. Okay, so the person is basically asking that I said something during when I was teaching on patterns, that patterns fuel prophecy and curses, and he doesn't know what to do because the prophecy was given seems not to be coming to pass because he has not reached a certain level of income. All right. As somebody that has dealt with curses, as someone that is dealing with curses currently in people's lives and removing patterns in my own life, let me just say this as a random fact. I break curses and patterns in my life very easy as long as I don't have to deal with another person. Yes. When it comes to dealing with people, maybe you need somebody else to be in agreement to break a certain limit or a curse. That's where problem comes in. Yes, that's where problem comes in. In fact, in anything I do, right, like I was teaching them, I was explaining in the men's conclave, in anything I do, I am very, very sound when I walk alone. But this is the human world. We have to relate with people. So for church growth, I have to relate with people. So people begin to drag. Some don't listen. Some don't win souls. Some don't pray. Relationships with people, same thing. That's where, if there's anything delay, that's where it comes from for me. So when you want to deal with patterns, you first have to recognize the patterns. When there's a curse in a family or in a person, first know the curse, break it down to a pattern. From the pattern, break the pattern down to daily occurrences. So this is it. Curse, pattern, daily occurrences. Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, let me give you a practical example. Stand up. You're both wearing black, so let me use you. Stand up, stand up. So let's say this is a couple. They are dating to marry. And then somebody else or somebody comes into the mix and hates this relationship. Follow me? And the person says, you both will never marry. Right? You know that that's a curse, right? They can break it, right? What is the first thing they need to do? We just identify the cause. They heard it. What's the next thing they need to do? Trace what? That does what? That supports the curse. So in the pattern, these people don't have conversations. No phone calls, no closeness, no conversations. Except when damsel in distress needs help from the guy, or the guy needs to see the girl. That's all. Will the curse hold or not? I'm calling your cases. Will the curse hold or not?
Yes.
When the guy is correcting the girl gets angry and abuses the guy or goes silent. Is that a pattern? Will the curse hold or not?
Yes.
Are you getting it now?
Yes.
Oh, the curse entails that they will be poor, so they don't have jobs. They're not even trying to look for jobs. They're just waiting for the marriage to happen. Will the curse hold or not?
Yes.
So are you seeing what to attack already?
Yes.
Sit. That's how it works. Find the pattern. For me, I found the way everybody in my family thinks. I was 13. I was in Baptist Academy here. I found the way everybody in my family thinks. Then I started praying 6 hours. I started praying 4 hours first, 5 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and I got to 6 hours. You cannot recognize patterns unless you are very prayerful. Patterns are like cobwebs. They are invisible. Every cobweb is a pattern. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You cannot, if you are very prayerful, you'll be very sensitive, then you will recognize it. Then you will draw it to its roots. When you get to its roots, you can dismantle it easily. So if you clear the cobweb but you don't kill the spider, have you solved the problem? So that's it. So you see, 13, I kept praying. It took years, but I knew The curse in this family is supported by the mindset. Let me give one of the mindsets, because we are out of that curse now. So let me give one of the mindset. When we are driving along this way or on the island, I'm with my dad. Anybody that is young and very successful looking, or maybe is driving a better car, my father says it's drug money or it's blood money. So because we came from deeper life, somehow we are made to believe that you must labor for long. Then you will now buy one chassis new old model car. Then you will now drive it. So that's the mindset my father handed over to all of us. Because of prayer and exposure, I knew something was wrong. I knew it was wrong. So we are driving. There say, Philip, look at that small girl. Small girl. Your sister's age mate. Driving Benz. Blood money everywhere. This country. Go punish them. Out of respect, I don't reply. I keep my head down. I begin to think, this thing is not right. This thing is not right. The girl could just be the daughter of a rich man. But I can't say it because I don't have any power to back up. I don't know if you understand. Oh Daniel, when you have not yet killed Goliath, shut up. You don't have a track record. So years later, when I had results financially, I was not able to say, sir, we grow in revelation. You see that mindset? It's a curse. It's a curse supporting mindset. And he looked at me, kept quiet, and said, well, thank God for what God is doing in your life. You may be right. You may be right. I had results. Don't talk if you don't have results. So check your family. There's a way everybody thinks that makes whatever, even if it's not a curse, that makes a pattern so strong you can't break out of it. You will carry that way of thinking into relationship. You will carry that way of thinking into handling church. You will carry that way of thinking. I'm very, very serious. I'm very serious. I'm not the first in my family to do church. In fact, it's a wonder I'm even doing because I hated church. The person that was really called per se is my brother. Yes. That mindset frustrated everything about him. That mindset. And listen, the mindset is not one thing. It's a pattern of thinking. So, as I'm here, I'm still undoing. I have undone many. Glory to God. I am still undoing going forward. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because this is question and answer, so I have to answer it this way. So, what is the one in your family? In my family, let's leave money. Let's come to God. Let's come to ministry. From TB Joshua to anybody that manifests power is a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. It's using something. If not that my dad has access and knows the Oyakilome family and was able to call them to confirm some things, he would have also called Pastor Chris a scam. Yeah. So myself and my dad, I grew up with myself and my dad listening to Pastor Chris. And I am listening to grow. He was listening for error. You know, there's a way somebody can come. Even me, I notice it. When we have programs, I see some more people, they may be pastors from that church, they'll come and sit down, waiting for me to jab up. Then I will say something they are not used to. They will check. Before the end of the service, they are shouting because they now agree. I see all that from here. Are you getting what I'm saying? So my dad is listening. There are some things Pastor Chris will say. He will just tell me, hey, listen, that thing he said is wrong. And I appreciated that so that I don't follow blindly, but I listen with balance. So he guided me through that for many years. We'll listen to it together. He will show me the extreme. Let me give one of the extremes. There's this popular tape by Pastor Chris. We watched the live service where he said, when you enter into the vehicle and they say, we are kidnapping you, tell them, let's go. Right? Some of you don't know that tape. Tell them, let's go. When you start going, start speaking in tongues. They will say, keep quiet, speak in tongues. My dad, my dad listened to that and said, this is true. But you see, the same wisdom of God can protect you from entering the vehicle in the first place. Are you getting the balance? You don't have to get there to now start speaking in tongues. What if they cover your mouth? What if they've beaten you and blind your eyes? I don't know if you understand. So he gave me practical terms, and I saw that, okay, the wisdom of God has classes. Your understanding chooses the class you perform in. One will wait to get there. Let them kidnap me now. What if they kidnap you and stab you? You are busy shouting, you can't speak in tongues. Another one says they will not kidnap me. I will discern it. I don't know if you understand. That's a higher class. One person has a salary right now and buys soap and everything and washes their clothes. They believe they are neat. Another person can wash the clothes but employs a system called washing machine to do it. I don't know if you understand. One person has used money to kill stress. Another person has used money to enjoy stress. They both have money. I don't know if you get that. Good. So where you function in the wisdom of God is based on your knowledge. So this is the reason why many a time I don't blame people. There's a knowledge I'm operating from. Somebody else is operating from a low knowledge. And they get offended at me also. And maybe later they are already married. They now discover what I was saying. It's too late. So I don't like to banter. I was talking to one of us this past week. And I said, I don't like sharing my personal experiences. Those of you that saw my status today, you would have seen one of them where Hubert Angel was talking about the other prophets that we follow that flies and play this tape. And I wrote it there that our personal things I don't share. Because if I share it, it will look like I'm lying because nobody was there. Yes. It will look like I'm lying. There was a time this year I prayed to a point. A certain bird, a certain red bird came to stay at my window. Yes, not witchcraft. That bird can only come if the spiritual energy in that environment is high. Yes. And when I was saying it to some people that came to my house, they just listen. Until I took somebody there and said, look up, that's the bird. It will be out of here when I stop praying. After the days I stopped praying, the bird left. It didn't build a nest. It just stays there. Yes. So there are experiences we have, we can't explain. Prophet Bushiri, when he prays, the only way he can read his Bible is that he prays to a point, his face shines. So he picks up his Bible and he can read in the dark. He preached it in 2019. I was in the live service. Then he got a son, Sovi, from one of these African countries. 2021, Sovi was with him on a prayer mountain praying. They said while they were praying, everywhere was dark. His face started shining. So he told them, oh, sorry. As he covered his face, he vanished. Prophet Bushiri. The video is online of Sovi saying what three of them experienced. Himself, Bushiri, and a third person. And yet, if you go on YouTube for Bushiri, you will see many scandals, many stories against him. So our personal experiences is what keeps us, even if church attendance is low, even if there's no church, even God gives us that access so that we can be convicted beyond the letters, beyond the Bible. God gives us that personal experiences. Are you getting what I'm saying? So some abilities we are forbidden to show. Some things, some knowledge we are forbidden to teach it. There are some things people around me have seen me do. Very weird things. I tell them I cannot do this. I can't teach this thing in church. How do you teach it? Yes, I can't teach it in church, but it works. Yes. So that's what I want you to understand. That in this thing, there are depths. And we keep chasing these depths till we get lost in him. So The patterns are for prophecy. The patterns are also for curses. That's what we are looking at, right?